good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
3 times?
A lady. So Drake did a thing. And this was much anticipated. We told you we were going to come and have this conversation, and we did.
What did you miss?
What did I miss? Speaking of what did we miss, he had a live stream about 6:45 Pacific time on Thursday afternoon. And in that live stream, he basically showed us all the things that he had been filming with Iceman getting ready to be released. And on top of that, while that live stream was going, he was in real time lighting up the tower in Toronto with ice and making it something of a spectacle. So in this live stream, it goes from sharing a bunch of different songs and music videos that he filmed in order for people to get a glimpse of the project without showing every single song. And near the end of the live stream is where the surprises came about. So he walks into this warehouse building. He has gasoline, and he starts pouring gasoline on all of these phones. And they're phones reminiscent of 2024 that are saying this and that on the internet about Drake. Whether it be positive, whether it be negative, whether it be helping out his competition. And he's pouring gasoline on basically all the bots.
Right.
And after that, he lights a match. And as he's exiting the building, we get a glimpse of the 3 project that he's about to release. And I guess I'm speeding through a little bit too fast because he didn't talk about the 3 projects at first. He said, this one is the one that I've been working on. And in the meantime, I made this and I made this. So tonight at midnight, you're going to get 3 projects. And that's where we left off. And I think for me, that was a bit of a surprise. I think we have something like, I think Iceman is 18 songs. The album Habibi is something like 11 to 12 songs. I can't remember off the top of my head how many.
11 on Habibi, and then Maid of Honor is 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a significant amount of songs. 11, 14 is 25 plus 18 is what, 53, 43, 53? I can't remember how to add. But
a lot of music.
It's a lot. 43 songs probably. And we're in a situation where how does someone absorb that much music in a way that is thoughtful, inspiring, or even helpful to the conversation? And so I think the first thing we want to do is understand what each project feels like, sounds like to us, and then talk about the main project, which is Iceman. What did you think about Habibi and Maid of Honor in that order first?
Habibi, that's the last one I listened to. And I thought, okay, it's Drake in his R&B drizzy bag. of giving his female audience basically the songs that they'll be putting on their captions.
the the songs that like after the breakup
Yeah.
songs.
After the breakup, in the middle of like a random vacation kind of thing, just like, you know, rainy day music kind of thing. Whereas I thought Maid of Honor, which is clearly just, I felt like there was just more ratchet music there.
Yeah, ratchet for the club.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Spend my money,
Right.
strip club, like all of that. Like, you know, just run of the mill. So you got R&B and then you got ratchet between the two projects, which is very interesting, to say the least.
what does interesting mean?
Interesting in a way of, I was not expecting stylized albums. I think what's funny is I've been requesting this from him for a while. Only
Those types of songs?
no,
Be clear.
the splitting of the styles. So like,
Oh.
if you're gonna do this album here, like Sweat and Suit with Nelly or whatever,
Don't mix them all in one.
Don't
Just
mix them all
Put
in
them in different places.
because I want to be able to stay tuned in versus like, well, this ain't for me. This ain't for me.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
You want an album with no skips.
Yeah, basically. But you know, I'm an old head in that way.
Mm.
How about you? What did you think of it?
For Habibi, I think my take is similar. At the same time, I felt like both of these projects essentially were lazy. They were lazy because they were constructed and composed in a way that was sort of easy for Drake to hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's sort of like setting. He did a bunch of layups,
True.
and and he wasn't doing any 7-minute drills in between. Then, you know what I mean? He was sitting there making some songs that I know the ladies would like, making some songs that I know the ratchet ladies would like, making some songs for all of these different moments, but it wasn't like he was trying. It felt like he was just doing a thing. And I think we'll get to why later on, why he's just kind of doing a thing with these projects. I don't feel like they have the same attention to detail in the way Iceman does. And so they were lackluster. I listened to them a few times each.
Yeah.
And so I have a little bit more kind of clarity on what I think about them. Simultaneously, they're not impressive at all, and so we could have done without it in life.
Yeah. I also think that this is a byproduct of, like I said, with the beef and like I said with the fall off, there was just this shift where Cole and Drake, after the beef, just kind of changed all of their plans. Whereas Iceman probably would have come out way earlier. They both made a decision to kind of shelve these things for 2 years, as if music is not rapidly changing as fast as it is.
As if they don't have core audiences.
Yeah, it just threw me off a bit because we're getting all this old music, but like you said, we'll kind of get into why we think he released what I feel is older music a bit later. But let's get into our general discussions or general impressions of what Iceman sounded like to us in first listens.
Excuse me. I think I was not expecting my body to make that sound. It's just too. Well, all right. Let me back up. First impressions. it sounds sonically polished. It sounds good with the instrumentals. The instrumentals make me want to rap. The instrumentals, I'm sure, inspired him to rap.
Mm-hmm.
He is constantly throwing metaphors at you,
Yeah.
almost so fast that like you need to go back and have some multiple listens. So there's no way that we could do a lyrical analysis. There's no way that we could do an actual review right now because there's so much to unpack. So lyrically, it's dense. Simultaneously, he did not challenge himself to dig deep. And we're going to talk about that. I'll let you lead that conversation.
Yeah.
Because you're more interested in that. But like, there's these moments, there's 4 moments on the project that kind of give way to different sections of the album. It's Make Them Cry, which is what you're going to talk about.
Yep.
There's Make Them Pay, Make Them Remember, and then Make Them Know. And because of that sort of skeleton, that sort of outline for his project, I just get the sense that like he did something that was deep enough for him, but not challenging to current Drake.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I say this again, it wasn't a 7-minute drill. It was like a 1-minute drill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where Iceman for me feels outdated. It feels like he's sulking in 2024.
Yeah.
It feels like he hasn't moved on. It feels like he could have taken advantage of this time off to make a different project. And it feels as if he is going on 40 and hasn't learned to be 40 yet.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
But okay, so initial impressions before I get to Make Them Cry and what it solidified for me in that way, right? So initial impressions were, oh, this is the rap album.
Right.
you gonna rap. Like this is Scary Hours 4 or 5 or 7 or whatever number we're on these Scary Hours. I was like, okay, I can get with this.
The man is rapping. Because you can't call him the boy anymore. He said that.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna switch to the man, which is wild.
The man.
But it was interesting in a lot of different ways because 1, you're rapping, and 2, you're attempting to be an older Drake or a younger Drake, I should say, that you don't and can't really tap into anymore. At least that's how you feel.
Who is younger Drake?
Younger Drake is Nothing Was the Same, Take Care. You know, when he started comeback season, like this is 6 a.m. in Toronto. These are all of these songs where when he put a number, a time stamp on it, it meant that we were going to get something that was like ultimately vulnerable and like really almost like a therapist session with us, right?
Yeah. I don't want to step on you, but I think something's coming up right now where like I think it's time for him to stop being Drake and start being Aubrey.
True.
Okay.
And that's what I think. I feel like he is very fearful of that in the sense of Make Them Cry, right? Was him expressing everything. I think it was an amazing intro, but I think that
his typical intro, by the way.
Yeah. But I think that in terms of intros, in terms of vulnerability, like there is a way in which he used to tap into that he really has lost hold of. You get this sense of everything that he was dealing with during, like, around the beef, all these different things, whether it's his relationship with his father and how his success has caused that relationship to be like, you don't even act like my father, you act more like a brother. Like, my mother is the only one that acts like a parent here.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he said your son's grandfather is like my older brother.
I'm saying he didn't say that about his mom.
No. I said she's more the parent. She is the parent in the situation of
I don't
to
think
him.
Well, I think he said he's
The parent to both is what you think?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I misinterpreted that.
he's
but I don't,
parent to mom, brother to dad.
Oh yeah. So basically, you get this responsibility shift. You get whenever he mentions his uncle, which is a very key point to me. His uncle to me is like this guide to whether you're doing something right, and his like desires for his uncle to be better. He wants, like, everything that he wants to do himself, he also tries to like kind of see in his uncle. Because he's always like, well, if he says something to me, like, I'm old enough that I will actually be able to understand him now.
Yeah, I think he gets it because I think he thinks his uncle is flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he peels back these onions, but it's like there was a time where, and I saw this post where they were basically saying old Drake would have talked about how he felt about his dad having cancer, how he feels about his own mortality, and how he feels like all of that works together, like with everything he has going on with his success, in a way that was way deeper. And he's telling us he can't dig deeper, but he's still like showing the glimpses of how he can. It's just kind of like, I think we said off air. I don't know if he trusts himself enough to go there anymore.
He can't be Take Care Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's challenged with going there, which is why he only really goes there 4 times throughout this project.
Yeah.
Right? Every one of those make them
Yeah.
songs is meant to like unpack something else. So like Make Them Pay is one of my favorites. I Just Got to Be Free, flipping that sample.
Yeah.
I think it's saying a lot about what we're going to talk about here coming soon about what's next for him.
Yeah.
And he is clearly stating that I'm not ready yet, even though at his age he should be ready. But I think what's kept him from being ready is the fame, the money, the power, and the fake respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's respect from all the yes people.
Yeah. And then I think it's the accolades. Like, you think about the yes people are, to me, all the streaming industries, whether it's Spotify or whoever, where you keep the lights on, like, alongside 2 other people, and then everybody else just plays how they play. But in terms of what we're running off of, it's just
I think he
inundating
keeps the
people.
lights on for the labels,
Yes.
not for the streamers, because the streamers pay the labels.
Well, yeah, but I just more so mean in terms of, like, when you're looking at who people are coming to these streaming sites for, whether it's, in the labels or whatever, it's him and a couple other people. Like, in terms of droves. And I mean, like, actually shifting the numbers and shifting the culture or whatever, which was kind of his whole point before and after the beef, especially towards the end of the year in 2024 when the numbers came out, and it was like, no one ever stopped listening to you.
I don't agree with that because it could be anybody. It could be any 4. Like, if we're talking about the top 5, those top 5 could be a mix of any artist. That's just where the music lives, and the consumer has no other choice but to go there, right? They have no other choice but to go to YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like your music isn't delivered any other way. And so the top people are going to be the top people no matter what time it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think that
I don't
there's
think they're driving the traffic, so to speak.
well, I think it's hand in hand. I don't think he's solely driving the traffic.
Yeah.
I do, however, think that he's a big part of that. Like along with the other people, it just you're not solely like you're still the reason you can have these negotiations because you have those numbers behind you. You have those numbers to use in all of these different things. And I think it's one of those, like we said earlier, it's a thing that he's trapped by. I feel like the sound through the albums is kind of just feeding that versus feeding the creativity of an artist and being somebody different, which is what he kind of did through his first like 4 or 5 albums.
Yeah. I think about it like this. So, like, if you break it down in decades, who's been one of the top artists in several decades, right? The 90s, it may have been Michael, right?
Yeah.
The 2000s, it may have been, Nelly or Eminem, right? And then late 2010s is Drake popping up.
Yeah.
I think the market reinforces it. It doesn't like the artist doesn't necessarily cause that pandemonium, so to speak.
Okay.
They have a thing, and that thing is good, right? That piece of people aren't going to the store because Drake is there necessarily. They're going to the store because they have to listen to stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I just think about it like, I guess you're kind of juxtaposing it as like candy at the front of the aisle when you get there. Like you're already in the store, but they specifically have put this candy here.
Right.
So you're grabbing something on your way out.
They're the people on the end caps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They buy the premium slots, but like people go to the store because they love music.
Okay.
So what's next for him?
Next, it seems like we are into contract negotiations, is what the internet is currently espousing. And given the context of this, I kind of have to believe him because this seems like a Frank Ocean exit move.
I don't believe it just because of the internet. I believe it because of Drake's actions. In around 2024, he was already having conversations about getting out of his deal.
Yeah.
After this beef, he really wanted to get out of his deal.
Yeah.
He wanted them to renegotiate. He wanted them to come to the table. And he wanted them to like basically up the bag. Because if you don't up the bag, like I can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Somebody else can give me the bag that I want. And if you pay attention to some of the conversations about Drake around 2024, a lot of people were saying like he's trying to get out. He's trying to get out. He's trying to get out because they won't pay him what he believes he's worth.
Yeah. But at that time, there was still negotiation, like, because even him saying it, like, he continuously talked about negotiation, coming to the table, what you going to have to pay me this time, what you need to pay me this time, what you need to pay me this time.
Yeah, because he's keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
I think the issue is Kendrick came about and the beef came about and Drake felt like, oh, you are the reason why he did so well because he ain't never done this well. And we're in the same building.
Yeah.
Coincidentally. So because we're in the same building and we're serviced by the same company, if you're like propping him up to give me less.
Yeah.
so you can lowball me. And that's where he gets the energy to release 1, 2, 3 projects to force a negotiation, because he's saying, well, label X over there, and there's only 3 of them, by the
Yeah.
way. There's only 3 of them left. One of those 3 over there can pay me the billions of dollars that I want. And if you don't, I'm going there. I believe that's what he's doing. It's the Frank Ocean move, but not a sleight of hand.
Yeah, it's not a like to exit the game kind of thing. It's to kind of shift the game in whatever way that he sees fit. I feel like whatever this deal is can potentially like change the landscape of whatever we consider the next person, whatever we consider the next star, because there will be a next star. Much to his like constant mentioning of like, you guys keep trying to replace me. And I'm like, honestly, it's the music business. You will be replaced.
Well, Bad Bunny exists, so like,
You know,
let's be real. Like, there he does have competition.
Yeah.
It's just it's more of a global scale. It's not like on a United States. Like, the United States is paying attention to Bad Bunny, but they weren't paying attention to Bad Bunny in a way that like
yeah.
the rest of the world is.
Yeah, it's American football to soccer.
Right.
Basically, like
Exactly.
Bad Bunny is soccer, Drake is American football. Like, people like it, and we like it in a lot and spending our money, but there's going to be a next person. So when we're doing this negotiation or whatever with him or whatever's next, what do you think is like the best move? Or what do you think is like his ultimate, like, do you think he stays, basically, is what, you know, are you moving or are you staying?
I'm not going to answer that question directly because I want to open the floor up to a different discussion.
Okay.
I think he goes. I think he leaves. But he leaves to go independent. I think Drake finds somebody to finance him doing it himself. Because he wants to be free. Free. And what else? What other way to be free at 40 years old? You see what I'm saying?
Wild. The free at 40 is funny. I agree. I agree. I see what you're saying. I don't think he goes independent as much as I honestly think at the end of the day, no matter with all of this, he ends up staying. I just, for whatever reason, I feel like
staying with an abusive partner, so to speak.
Kind of, but again,
he does not like Lucian.
He says a lot of things. He also didn't like Future for a short amount of time. Like that.
Then he ran to Atlanta.
Like, out of all the people that would, like, this does not start without you in Metro Boomin. And that's the one person I probably wouldn't have done a song with. You know, he was able to come to the table with his brother. And I mean, I know that they were probably like way closer to whatever. Like, even
is that what Future did?
I think he ultimately, like you said, in this toxic relationship, goes back to UMG. I just think they up the money. Like, Lucian ain't stupid. Like, they ain't stupid in all of this. Like, if he feels that they orchestrated Kendrick and it wasn't organic as it was, they also orchestrated you then. Like, and they've continued to do so. And I think that they will continue to up the ante. Like, I don't think that they don't give you the money. They've given you the money every time. Like, they haven't actually said no to you. And even with this, you are still, like, you drop 3 albums, you're going to make them their money back for whatever they spent, if they invested anything label-wise. Like I just don't see Lucian losing this opportunity, no matter what it is that he thinks is the next move. He just forces them to up the ante. This is an NFL player, NBA player, basically going into the free market and then re-signing with his team.
Universal made 12 billion in 2025. I think he does want one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that he wants one of them with more leverage and the rest of his catalog. And so I think he would go independent and then just pick the partners for distribution.
But like we were saying earlier, who are the partners? Because like I feel like unless he creates his own partner, I don't think he's going to do Rock Nation distribution.
I mean, Rock Nation distribution is not one of the big three.
Who's our big three in that way?
Warner, hold on, big three record labels: Sony, Warner,
Okay,
and
yeah.
Universal. And I don't think he's gonna go to Sony because Beyonce's over there. And so Warner, that's an interesting one because that's where Atlantic lives. And so, what is he gonna do over at Warner? But they can still distribute in the way the outcomes are the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting the music out to the people. He doesn't need marketing anymore in the same way.
Mm-mm.
So like he just needs distribution. He just needs worldwide global distribution. And licensing is not something that is seriously crazy. He could do a publishing deal anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like there's so much upside to him going taking OVO and just saying I'll pick every project.
I think that is the smartest move, but I still think he's either going. I feel like with the choices that he has, he either finna walk into Sony, which I can see, or he's gonna stay with his abuser because I just don't think Warner is even on the table as a option.
I think the only
Yeah.
reason why he stays is because he is lazier than what I think he is.
Sheesh. Yeah. I mean, it would be lazy.
I think it's a lazy move. It's well, I say lazy, but you have to work harder to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build everything that the building has yourself, including the tours, including the merch, including the marketing, including the radio.
Yeah.
All of that you have to build yourself. But I feel like he has enough cash to say, do that for me, but I keep my ownership.
He does, but we also kind of just talked about how we felt, even though the albums can come off a bit lazy. So I just don't think that. I don't know. Like, do I think that much like do I think he's gonna have a Lupe moment? Right? No, not really, because even Lupe.
Well, Lupe's always been independent.
Yeah, but I mean, even with Lupe's exit from Atlantic is what I'm saying. And when he exited with Tetsuo and Youth, he went out like, this is how I can do it. Like he didn't give him Food and Liquor too, or even how people felt about Lasers. He gave Tetsuo and Youth, which was one of his best showings to date at that point. I just don't. I don't know if I think that Drake is like giving these albums out to then come with something that's like drastically better in independence. But I don't know. I hope so. But yeah.
I think that's the only way that you get an honest Drake. Is that I'm not worried about making hits anymore. I liken it to any artist that is at the top of their game, but just matures.
Yeah.
You only like I think maturity is saying I don't need a hit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna put out songs. One of them's gonna do something, and we'll see what happens because I don't need to. I don't need to control it anymore.
Yeah. I just don't see that maturity. Like I
Well,
I hope it's there, but it's definitely currently to me not apparent.
yeah,
But that's enough. What do y'all think?
yeah.
How
What
did
did we
you?
miss?
I'm sure we missed a lot, but I hope that we at least gave this in a way of just initial impressions, man. Like it's not that deep. Sorry, 40. I can't dig deep in less than 24 hours, but I can at least present facts as they are. And right now, the man has dropped 3 albums.
The boy man.
The boy man has dropped 3 albums, and they're out. So let us
You did say a fact. Thank you.
so let us know down in the comments what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified for the next time that we go live or do anything. And we'll see you in the next piece. A 1 and a 2 and a peace.